Hi, my name is Emmanuel Kessler. I'm a certified natural therapist and the founder of the Alala method. Where I am now is not where I started. I originally began as a musical theater artist, working for big theaters in Austria like Volksoper Wien, Vereinigte Bühnen Wien, and international tour productions, and operetta and musical festivals. I also went into show production and event business, doing product placement and event parties for international companies. I loved this job, also from the artistic point of view, but it was definitely the land of a freelancer. Always on the road, always having to answer to a job, also the uncertainty whether the next year would be as good as the previous one and whether you would be able to maintain your lifestyle. Very early I realized that I had to find a counterbalance for the sometimes very demanding life in the limelight. That's why I started to focus on body and mind on a daily basis, where the necessary training from the performing arts met my second nature of martial arts and yoga and my growing interest into spiritual healing arts. Although this method served me for many years very well, it did not prevent me from falling into a deep emotional, mental, and even physical crisis. On my 40th birthday, which I call the Black Friday of my life, everything collapsed. My job situation was obsolete. My marriage, after 20 years of very happily together, was on the verge of being split into divorce. I fell into that depression state where you blame everybody else around you. And this was very, very demanding for my wife. I remember it was a cold November night. We had a big fight, and she did the only reasonable thing. She closed the doors to her heart. So I took my sorrow and pity to the shores of the river Danube, where I leaned onto my favorite asp tree, literally looking into the stream and thinking whether it wouldn't be the best now to step into the flood and end my life. Of course, at that time, everything sounded and seemed much more dramatic than it really was, but I did take off my clothes. I stepped into the ice-cold waters. It was in that moment where I met my greatest master, nature herself. Like an icy sword, she split instincts of vitality and survival from artificial, mentally constructed anxiety. I knew who I was when I stepped out of that cold water, panting and breathing, feeling my blood pump through my veins and filling my body with natural energy. I was so exhilarated, I hugged that asp tree, feeling its presence and letting all my sorrows flood from my heart into the stem of the tree. I knew from that time on my life would change, and I had to incorporate all the gifts from nature into my already existing bodywork, transforming it to a complete new level and starting to train on myself. After 1 year, I was pain and symptom free. Now I can think of nothing else but showing those gifts that I received from nature, from the performing arts, the martial arts, and the spiritual arts, into something accessible for every man and woman and family, that transforms emotion into energy, fear into force, panic into pleasure and power, and old hurt into a healthy heart.